We have said many times that planet Earth is a living organism, and it is always changing. One of the significant changes that has happened multiple times on Earth is the ice ages. There have been 5 major ice ages on Earth. At least, this is the minimum number. Scientists believe there have been more ice ages on Earth. However, these 5 are confirmed and have certainly occurred. They have moved beyond the theoretical stage. We are not going to talk about the ice ages of Earth. We want to discuss what happened after the appearance of humans on Earth, because we want to know how humans survived an ice age. The last ice age began about 115,000 years ago. And interestingly, it lasted until just 11,000 years ago. However, this does not mean that 11,000 years ago the entire Earth was frozen. The ice age was ending, and the ice was retreating and moving toward the poles. So let's go back to the beginning of this ice age to see what was happening. You should know that during this time, Homo sapiens existed, modern humans living alongside Neanderthals. This means that both types of humans existed during the Ice Age. Neanderthals were only in Eurasia, while modern humans were in both Eurasia and Africa. Humans in Africa were in a better position, because Africa did not become as severely cold as Eurasia. Scientists estimate that during the last ice age, which we are discussing, 30% of the Earth's surface was covered in ice. You should know that during the ice age, the Earth's water levels were much lower. For example, the Caspian Sea did not exist. The Persian Gulf did not exist. The Red Sea was a lake because its ends were not connected to anything. And the Mediterranean was also a lake. Japan was connected to Asia, and the most famous connection was between America and Asia. All of this was because water levels were low. Currently, much of the Earth's water is in the form of ice. Now, what were the warmest places on Earth like during this time? You might not believe it, but around the equator, where the average temperature is currently about 31 degrees Celsius, it was only 31 degrees Celsius during that era. 7 degrees was the hottest place on Earth. Can you imagine how cold the Earth was? Now you might ask, how cold was the coldest place on Earth? You should know that the coldest place wasn't much different from now. It was 50 degrees Celsius, which is still about the same today. But the hottest place on Earth during that time shows how cold the entire Earth was. So, let's see what humans were doing in this cold. The weather was cold, rainfall was scarce, everything was frozen, and you couldn't extract any food from the ground, so the only food available was meat. Humans had to hunt for their survival, to stay alive. There was no other way to fill their stomachs. The warmest place on Earth during that time was northern Africa, and most humans were concentrated in this area. But as we said, humans were not only in Africa. All of Europe and Asia were inhabited. They were in the Indian subcontinent, Southeast Asia, and even Australia. But no humans were yet in the Americas, neither in the North nor the South. The invention of clothing transformed human life, especially when they started using animal skins for clothing to keep themselves warm. But humans had long before mastered fire as well, and used fire alongside clothing to keep warm. Another reason humans survived this harsh cold was their ability to communicate with each other and plan how to survive. Scientists believe that at least 50,000 years ago, humans had a spoken language and could easily communicate with each other. This is something other animals do not have in the same way. They cannot plan for themselves like humans can. From ancient cave paintings, we can understand that Ice Age humans knew the seasons and knew when it would get colder or warmer. The cave paintings show that they recognized which animals were better for hunting. The king of foods during that time was meat, as agriculture was impossible. Humans worked hard to hunt for food, keep themselves warm in the terrible cold, and continue their lives. Because of this, they became more skilled at hunting during this time, and created tools for hunting, like wooden spears with stone tips, which were very effective in hunting. Humans, like many predators, hunted in groups, and even brought down animals much larger than themselves. Like mammoths, the most famous of them. But this type of hunting always came with heavy losses for humans. That's why about 50,000 years ago, they invented the bow and arrow. Instead of holding spears and going up to the mammoths, they sharpened stones and used bows to hit animals from a distance. This shows that humans were becoming more strategic day by day, using more advanced technologies to survive in this harsh environment. Archaeologists say the most important thing that helped humans survive was their choice of residence, as they usually chose the right places to live. When they found a safe and good place, they stayed there. For example, if they found a good cave, they wouldn't leave it and would say, "We found a palace." If there were various animals nearby and a river running close by, this cave would become the best place in the world. The choice of living place by humans of that time shows that they were truly modern humans, as their brains worked effectively, something other animals don't have. For example, African wild dogs attack prey in groups like Ice Age humans. But the difference is that humans plan their hunts. Wild dogs instinctively know they must attack prey, catch it, and eat it. They don't think about how many they lose, nor do they care about it. But humans tried to plan in such a way that not only did they avoid losing members, but they also avoided injuries. This human consultation and planning has continued to this day. Humans plan for everything. Let's go back to that time. Not all humans of that era planned so wisely, most notably Neanderthals. Neanderthals became extinct in the middle of the Ice Age because they couldn't plan for their survival and continuity. However, the reason for the extinction of Neanderthals is theoretical. No one knows exactly why they became extinct. One theory is that Neanderthals were strong and bulky, and their greater need for food led to their extinction. While modern humans could survive on less food, the genes of modern humans have a strong competitive streak, meaning human intelligence, strategy, competition, and social interaction led to their continuous advancement. For such humans, surviving the Ice Age wasn't too challenging. They could make good decisions with their ever-improving intelligence and survive. The last Ice Age ended about 11,000 years ago. As the Ice Age ended, many ice masses melted and sea levels rose. Remember how, for example, the Caspian Sea didn't exist? This sea was formed. The Mediterranean was a lake. Sea levels rose and connected it to the ocean. Sri Lanka separated from India. Japan separated from Asia. And something else that trapped Native Americans in North and South America was that the Bering Strait went underwater, closing the Asia-America land bridge, which remains closed to this day. Now there's a theory that the world is getting warmer, and sea levels will continue to rise. But some scientists argue otherwise. They say, while it's true that Earth has been warming in recent years, this is temporary, and there's a possibility that Earth might enter another ice age in the near future. However, both Earth's entry into another ice age and its warming and melting ice are theories, and we cannot definitively say which is correct.